Hey, it's Taco with some geometry lessons tonight. Okay, first of all, I have one of these packs with my BGD magic motor. Mine is not this colorful. It's kind of just a dull blue and gray and black. And it's a really neat pack for taking it's got some pockets you can't see up here. And I keep my logbook and other stuff in there, my anemometer and a few things. But it's got all this backpacking kind of stuff. It's really meant for hike and fly. So you hike up to the top of a mountain. Of course, you guys know this. Hike up to the top of a mountain and unpack your wing, put on your harness, and then fly back down the mountain. I wanted something a little bit different than this, though, to take with me in my paramotor. I found this on the Facebook Marketplace one day, and then they've got their own website. This looks really neat to me. It's not as cumbersome with all the straps. You see, she's ready for a full day, like hiking probably from down there in the ocean all the way up to the top of this mountain. So it's got all this comfort stuff. Whereas this one is, it's got a few straps and stuff, but it's not as cumbersome. I don't even need all this stuff. What I'm looking for is basically just the cloth bag side that I can fold up and stick in under the seat of my paramotor. For when eventually I have an engine out and I've got to pack the wing up and maybe walk a good distance or hike out, and I don't want to carry the wing in rosette form. So problem is, these guys don't tell you they don't give you any measurements, like how wide is this, how tall is this. We can make some inferences by how tall this guy is. It's probably about 36 inches right there packed up. With the helmet on top of it, maybe a little less, maybe 32, depending on how tall this dude is. And so we can make a little bit of inferences about that. And then it looks like it's got an octagonal shaped, kind of a back to it. So what I did is I did some geometry. I took my Sherpa pack and I measured it. And I packed my glider in it, of course, and I measured it. And it comes out to about 14 inches thick on average, about 24 inches wide on average, and about 34 inches high or long. And so that gives me an interior area. And now I'm working in inches for you people from nations that didn't go to the moon. So I'm working in inches. So this is 11,000 cubic inches. I could have done feet, but then I have to convert all these. So what I did was I said, okay, I need to create a bag with at least this amount of space inside. So what I figured is I want to do an octagon, kind of like the guy on the internet did. And so what I was going to do is cut a base that was approximately 28 inches wide. That gives me this. That expands out a little bit with these flower petal looking corners. Expands out a little bit to a total of 36 inches. And then back to 28 inches. And so how much volume is this? And I wanted it to be about 16 inches from the base all the way to the height. So thankfully, the internet provides everything you need to know about geometry for octagons. And first thing I did was I went to octagon side formula. I Googled that and it said, how do you find the length? Multiply the diameter, the perpendicular length between two parallel sides by 0.414 to get a side's length. So now I have, if my base diameter, or what you could call diameter, is 28 inches. I multiply that times 0.414, and I get 1159 for each one of these sides. And I know I'm not drawn to scale. So it's 1159 for each one all the way around. And then my medium, or my middle diameter, is actually 36. So I multiplied 36 times that same number, 0.414. And so the outside of each of these petals is 14.9. And then it goes back down to the original size again. So this would be 11.59. So that's how that works. And then so I'll sew the bottom of the petal to the base. Then they'll fold up on the outside. They'll all be sewn together. And then these top ones, I'm not going to sew together. Probably. I hadn't figured all this out yet. I'm not going to sew them all together. But I'm just what I'll do is I'll put a loop in the top, and then I'll run some paracord. There's a loop. I'll run paracord through all of these, all the way around so you can grab the cord and pull it, and it'll fold up like this. And then probably even some more. So it'll be folded, you know, depending on how big your glider is. Okay, and then using another formula I got on the internet, because I'm not that great with geometry, octagon volume, and holy crap. Okay, so the easiest thing I did, I put 13.5 as the length of one side, and then 16 inches for my height. And then the way I got that was I took, the base is 28, the widest part is 36, so I averaged it. So it came out to be, and then I multiplied the average times that 4.414. And so halfway up, the diameter would have been, the length of each side would have been 13.25. So I just averaged the length of the two sides. I get 13.25. My height is about 16. And then so my results are 13,563. Now, they're giving it to me in cubic meters, but I mean, the numbers are numbers. It doesn't really matter whether or not you, it doesn't really matter whether or not you put in inches or meters. There you go. And then this one should be cubic inches. Yeah, see, it doesn't matter. A number is a number. So 13.25 inches to 16 inches to 13,000 cubic inches. So the volume of this bag when I make it will be 13,000 cubic inches, which is even larger than my BGD bag. Now that's being a little bit conservative or overestimating just a little, because it's not going to be it's not actually going to be 16 inches top to bottom. This side's going to be 8 inches. This piece is going to be 8 inches. Now, I've exaggerated the angles, but you can see top to bottom, that is not going to be 16 inches. It's probably going to be more like 14 inches. So we're going to come up with, I can't see the mouse through the phone, 14 inches. And we're going to go back to cubic inches. So 11,687. So that's a lot closer to this. So, and again, you know, the bottom's going to flex some, the sides are going to flex out some. So it's going to be a little bit more round. And then depending on how far I pull these in, it's going to get bigger or smaller. So anyway, that's my thing. And what I wanted to do, I've got fabric in a couple of different colors that I'm going to use, which I can't find right now. But I wasn't going to do tie-dye. This bottom part's probably going to be green. And the reason I have each of these petals, I'm going to cut, this will be like green and purple, and then purple and green and purple. So, and then this probably will be green or purple, whichever. So I've got a lot to cut. Now, if I just wanted to, if I want to save some time, I could just cut one piece and this could all be green. But as I planned right now, I've got to cut 8 wedges. Then I've got to cut 8 wedges of alternating colors and sew them together. I really wanted something to match my BGD magic motor. And I thought I was ordering that, but that's what I got. I thought I was ordering a lime, and I got more of an olive green. And then the purple I thought was brighter, but the purple's going to work. I do have, however, a little bit of white. So I might even be able to tie-dye, which would be fun. So anyway, there's your geometry lesson. I really wish that green was brighter. It looked lime on the Ripstop by the Rolls website, but that is more of like almost a military green. What you're seeing on the phone is pretty accurate. It's actually a little bit brighter on the phone. It's kind of a dull, I'm telling you, it looks like military camouflage green. So I don't really like the green. So anyway, you know, sometimes you don't always get on the internet what you're looking for. So anyway, that's what I was hoping for, is more of a magic motor lime green. That's like the color of my wing right there. That's what my, that's like the bright green in my wing looks like that. That's what I was looking for. And that's what I got. So, oh well, maybe I'll tie-dye something. If y'all would like to see me tie-dye some fabric and show you exactly how I do it, just give me a holler on the comments. Thank you. And hopefully I'll get all this together and put it in my paramotor. So if my motor quits, I have a way to pack out my wing. Remember, rule 1, don't go splat.